What's up, everybody? Here with Josh Van Blay. Is that how you say your last name?
That is how I say my last
perfect.
name. That's the rigmarole.
It's
across the board.
It's not like really a hard name, but I feel like when you have those like Van whatever, people get
the Van
scared.
or Von something.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'm gonna say it wrong.
Yeah.
And like it's gonna happen, and then you're gonna get hurt. No one's
Yeah.
gonna like if someone gets offended that you pronounce their last name
Yeah.
wrong, then they need to talk to someone
It's
about that.
I've been having the last like 2 years, nobody can get my name right, like Caleb. I always
Really?
get it wrong. Either they hear me say it wrong,
Oh, okay.
or like they can't. Like Rob Nation always calls me Khalib, which is funny.
Just when are there two E's? Where's the I in there?
I don't know.
What's he doing? That's funny.
know. Or if people ask me, I guess I just don't like enunciate, so they'll be like, "Oh, Kalo," and I'm like, "No."
Maybe you need to just come up with a list of just like different names to really just kind of throw at people.
Yeah,
and see
and then
if
see
they'll
what
really,
happens.
really
Or if I
get it or
start
not.
saying it wrong, and then they'll be like, "Oh, Caleb," and they'll just hear it wrong but right.
Then that'll be the fix right
yeah,
there.
just like my
You
name's
should've been-
Kalo. Oh, Caleb, cool. Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
perfect.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
Perfect.
You nailed it. You nailed it. That's hilarious.
Oh yeah.
What's your what's the Cashway Pete story, which is your stage name?
Cashway Pete is my favorite story to tell.
Okay, perfect.
Anytime anybody asks me, I'm just like, it's story time. My grandfather came over from Holland way back in the day during World War II and stuff.
Okay.
And then he met my grandmother at some point, and then they moved out to Lambeth, which is just like farming.
Right.
outside
Yeah.
London. And so they had like 3 different farms that they worked on and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, for the winter time, because you can't farm in the winter.
Yeah.
You try and farm in the winter,
Yeah.
you're gonna be
You can't
eating
farm.
snow.
Yeah.
You don't want that. So yeah, he worked at this place called Cashway for like 37 years.
Oh, okay.
And when he passed away when I was like young, when I was maybe like 6 or 7.
Right.
So
Okay.
like
Yeah.
I
it
had
didn't-
like a couple good memories
Yeah.
of it, so I always have like really nice thoughts in my head when I think about the whole Cashway Pete thing.
Yeah.
But my grandmother gave me his clothes when I was going into high school, and that's when I got like my red Cashway hat,
Right.
my, like actual Cashway shirt.
yeah.
And then my dad has this really nice gold ring that has like 4 diamonds on it. It says
Oh, cool.
Cashway with
Oh,
like
sweet.
35 in the middle. So
Oh wow.
once I get that, the Cashway
Yeah.
Pete will be
If-
complete.
Yeah.
And then, but yeah, it's been like since grade 8, grade 9.
Oh, wow.
It's been like
That's so
rocking
cool.
the Cashway
That's
Pete
hilarious.
hard.
That's so funny.
It's
Is he
it's
like
been nice,
musician
though.
too, or
Oh, thank you, man.
was he one? Did he
Was
like?
he one?
Did he do music?
I don't really know too much
Okay.
about him. I don't really know. I know that people on my grandmother's side were more musical.
Okay.
Yeah, like my Uncle George, I have his old accordion and
Oh,
stuff. and
really?
It's all like beat up.
Yeah.
Like, it's like 3rd generation.
Yeah.
down from like his uncle and uncle's uncle and all
Right.
that shit. I always like kind of just take everything from all my
Right.
family members, and I'm just like, here, give me it all.
That's
and I'll
so
just
cool.
like put it in my room and hoard it
Yeah.
for a little while. Play it every now and then, but shit's confusing.
That's hilarious. Yeah, accordion, man. You ever like rock the accordion?
I tried to for like a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like there's something interesting anytime you try a new instrument. Like when I bought that sitar last year, it
Yeah.
was like made me think about guitar in a different way.
Yeah.
Because like the scales are really weird on
Yeah.
that thing. The fretboard is like a hovering fretboard.
Right.
So it's like you don't have any grounding, and it's
Right.
just like, okay, how do I play this? And after you play that and you pick up a guitar, you're like, this is so fucking easy.
Yeah.
Like how did it not happen sooner?
Right. Yeah.
I think that's definitely like, I don't know, trying different instruments
Yeah.
is like a really kind of cool thing, especially if it's like something that you got handed down to you.
Yeah.
And it's, like,
Absolutely.
it's such a nice gift. 'Cause
Yeah.
you're like, oh, somebody else played so much music.
Yeah.
For this, and now hopefully at some
Yeah,
point
there's so
it'll,
much
like, get
history.
used.
That's so
Definitely,
cool.
man.
That must have like you kind of have like a bit of an experimental sound. Would you say?
Yeah.
Does that have a s-
I like to do
something
things
with
out
it?
in the left field.
Yeah.
It's
That's
not.
your entire personality, though.
I try and go with that. I hope that
Yeah.
I'm happy that that's the vibe that I give off.
We were talking
you
about
know?
that the other day. Actually, we were talking. There's a few people in our program that have like an interesting way of dressing and stuff. But like, with like, we were saying like with you though, it'd be weird if you just showed up in like blue jeans and a hoodie one day. Like that would be like more strange than like.
Anytime that I make that decision, it's always just like today's pure comfort, or like
Yeah.
I'm really upset at the world, and I'm like I'm wearing this today. I don't want to do anything
Yeah.
different, man. I know. I think it's important, right?
Yeah.
It's one of those things where
Expressive.
yeah, and I've always had this really weird thing in my head. I don't know if it's like a narcissistic thing, but like it's nice to have people look at you.
That's fair.
The weirder things you wear, the more people are gonna look, and they'll be thinking, I don't know, because I've always like when I was younger, I remember seeing this guy in a hockey rink who had like his entire like both of his ears covered with hoops.
Oh, really?
And I was like, that is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. And since then, I was just like always wanting, I don't know. You want people to look at you.
Yeah.
You want attention.
Yeah,
towards
for
you.
sure.
Everybody's always seeking
Yeah.
attention
Yeah.
and like approval and acceptance.
Yeah.
So if you can find your own way to do that, and especially like, I don't know, with the MIA community.
Yeah.
Like the amount of comfort that you receive
Yeah.
and the amount of love and
Yeah.
like, care and compassion. People
Absolutely.
don't give a shit.
Yeah.
You show up naked, they'll be
Yeah.
like, bad choice, but well, you
but
did
I guess
it.
we're going with it. So yeah,
Keep rocking it,
because
man.
we're like a group of people that, for the most part, all like want attention, but also we're really good with like
being-
understanding whose time it is, kind of thing. Like,
And that's like a really important thing
Yeah.
too. Like even like when you're working with a band too. Like
Yeah.
if you're in a band, depending on like the role that you have, you're gonna have a certain kind of like, I don't know, you're gonna have different levels of like how much
Yeah.
importance you have
Yeah.
towards like the overall image of
Yeah.
everything. And like that's why I find it like kind of like a bit of a weird thing to like play music with the band, because I don't want to be taking things away
Right.
because I'm like, oh, I'm singing, I'm up front.
Yeah.
Because it's a
Yeah.
whole thing in itself.
Right.
But
Yeah.
that's definitely one of the things, is kind of realizing when it's this person's time.
Yeah.
When it's that person's time.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of respect. And I think that, I don't
Yeah.
know, we're all adults.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah.
When people are performing, you shut the fuck up, you listen, and
Yeah.
you tune in to whatever they're doing.
Yeah, and yeah, for sure. I find that it's like with working with a band, I like that. I don't mind like doing some solo stuff, but I prefer, and with the type of music I play, it's like more helpful to have other people.
And it's just
But,
nice too.
yeah.
To have like a whole bunch of other brains kind of come together.
Yeah.
To create like a final thing.
Absolutely.
And like I love having like discussions that are kind of arguments.
Yeah.
With people.
Yeah.
Know? It's like you're both fighting for your opinion.
Yeah.
But it comes from such a good place.
Yeah.
That you're just like, okay, at the end of this, there's gonna be a solution.
Yeah.
But right now we need to talk this through.
Yeah.
And have like a like important conversation, especially if you're making a like actual
Yeah.
production decision and being like,
Yeah.
we need to change this part to that.
Yeah.
You know, if you can justify it in a
Yeah.
good way without coming off like a complete asshole. Because you got to be like a little bit of a dick when you're standing up
Yeah.
for yourself.
It's
you know?
because everybody's trying to make the song sound good and like make the best decision.
At the end of the day, that's what it should be about, right? If you can't pull that off, then like what happens when you get onto a stage
Yeah.
and you haven't solidified a good decision?
Yeah.
And people are still butting heads about things.
Yeah.
Like then you have people like, I don't know, Axl Rose or something.
Yeah.
that are just fucking divas and like go batshit crazy.
Yeah. For like 20 years before they figure everything out.
Yeah, now they're back together,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Doing
They've been
stuff.
touring for like a year, I think.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you just see
I'm not.
them
No,
recently?
Tilker just saw them.
That's who it
Yeah,
was. Okay, I thought
he's
I
a huge.
saw.
I think that's his favorite band.
Really?
I'm not like a huge Guns N' Roses fan. Like,
Understandably.
you
I haven't
know.
listened. Have you listened to a lot of their
Not
stuff?
really.
Neither
I'm like
have
kind
I.
of like a Fairweather fan. Like I like Appetite, and then, like that's pretty much like as far as it goes. I'm a big like Duff McKagan fan, like the
Dude,
bass
Duff
player.
is awesome.
Yeah,
He's
but,
super
like,
cool.
Yeah.
What did he play in something else as well?
Yeah, well, he's played in a bunch of stuff. He's got a band called Loaded,
Okay.
and he's in another, or he was in another band called The Walking Papers, which I have their CD down there. I got it signed actually. I tell this story probably like every other podcast, but I saw that band at this festival called Uproar, and I
Okay,
almost
cool.
the drummer. The two, like the singer and the keyboardist, aren't like really famous at all. But the
Yeah.
drummer was in the Screaming Trees and
Oh,
a bunch
no
of that
way.
like other grungy like bands in the
Dude,
90s.
that's
yeah.
wicked, man.
So the drummer and the singer did all the signings, and then like because
Okay.
Duff is like super mega famous, he had to like leave.
Get
And I
escorted
we
out.
almost met him, and then like the
Oh,
security guard
damn.
was like, "You can't talk to him," because like it was me and two
man.
other kids. So like I figured if
it
people
was
were
just
like,
two of
"Whoa, he's
you."
talking to people," and then it might just like
Yeah.
cause an issue. So
it's
he
a whole
wasn't
like
like,
bubblegum thing. You know,
Yeah.
you give one piece of bubblegum out to somebody.
Yeah.
The second somebody else sees you,
Yeah.
it's game over.
yeah,
You gotta give like
you
bubblegum
gotta
out.
give. Then you got no bubble gum left, and
And Duff is gonna be mad. Duff is gonna be so mad. It's
he
on his charter,
apologized.
man.
Yeah, he's like, I want all this bubble gum. Yeah.
Like, don't give it to the kids. Don't give the bubblegum to the goddamn kids. I fucking swear.
Yeah, he's a cool guy though. He apologized. He was like, "I'm really sorry, guys," and then left.
It's one of those things.
Yeah, it is what it is.
It's such a weird thing to think about how people's lives change the second that like celebrity gets involved. I was actually it was funny. I was watching this interview the other day out of all people. Like, this isn't my world to listen to. Like, I really enjoy like the new kind of like trappy production style and stuff. But I was watching this really great interview with Lil Yachty.
Okay.
And it was like a two-year interview. So it was like the first one was him when he was nobody.
Okay.
And he hadn't even like, he was just starting to like really build some ground, you know, when people are like really starting to come up and they're like, okay, who is this?
Yeah.
We don't know yet.
Yeah.
And then so we just did his update podcast with this guy who's just like, he's toured with them a bunch and he's friends with all Lil guys, Lil Pump, Lil Uzi, Lil Vert, you know.
All the Lil guys.
the Lil crew, Lil Peeps, you know. He was just like, nah, I'm the exact same person, but like now I just got money. Yeah. And I was just like, fair enough.
Yeah,
like,
that's
shit.
interesting.
I find that people kind of, depending on like what world you come from, you can either let it go to your head and you end up going batshit crazy, or you stay humble, which is hopefully what if anything happens to you, stay fucking humble.
I wonder if it's got anything to do with like people feeling that they deserve it, and then if you get to that point, you know, because some people can be really like, even if they're nothing, they think that they're, you know, there's something, and then if they get that break,
then they think that they're even 3 steps ahead of that or something.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's kind of what's happening now, especially with social media, because people think that like, I don't know what it was. I was reading this thing about like influencers on Instagram.
Yeah, man, I've been down that rabbit hole the last couple days for some reason.
Dude, it's fucked up.
It's
man.
like the worst kind of like comedy or like anything.
Oh, dude, like people taking pictures with like products and shit to like advertise. And like to try and like persuade young kids. Yeah. Like, that's what's happening now. Yeah. Like, a weird thing, too, is, like, Facebook isn't a thing anymore. Like, Facebook still is really popular. But I had this 16-year-old, like, Spanish student come in and stay at my house over the summertime. Okay. And she was telling me, like, oh, no, we don't use Facebook. Oh, we only use Instagram. Oh. Instagram and Snapchat. What the fuck is Facebook?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, things are like really changing a little bit. And then I saw that post about influencers and I was like, ugh. Yeah. Like, the fact that people like let themselves get influenced by other people and they see these people with all this money and the celebrity and the fame and the power and all these things that come with it and they're like, I want that. Yeah. And then they get it.
It's so, cause I think it was like when Vine shut down, it was just all these like Vine stars that didn't have any income anymore. But they make these like Instagram videos that are supposed to be funny, but they're always just like super sexualized and like kind of racist.
I wasn't really big into the Vine thing, man.
Me neither. I never did it.
So I mean, I see a couple of them on Facebook now. Yeah. There's a couple of them that are funny that don't do that kind of thing. Yeah. Like there's that one guy, Evan MB or whatever.
Oh, yeah, that guy's funny.
He's like, hey, man, I'm smoking some weed. You got some weed in your eyes, man. Yeah. Like, that's so good. Yeah. But there definitely are like shitty people out there on the internet. You can't really.
Yeah, there's people that just want to be famous and like with like stuff like Vine or like Instagram, it makes it like really easy. Yeah. And some people just want like mindless entertainment too. Like it's not even that they're like super influenced by it, but it's just like a view's a view or whatever, right? Oh, exactly. So like some people don't care.
I'd rather watch like paint dry on like a wall or something, man. Like I don't know, I try and play this game with myself where like if I log out of Facebook, I try and stay logged out for like an excessively long time. Like if I can pull a full like half day without going on Facebook, feels great. Yeah. Because like I don't know, people don't do things like this. They don't have like conversations and connect as much as what it was. Like I keep thinking about when I was a kid. I've been having like a lot of like childhood flashbacks recently. And like you know when recess gets let out and everybody just fucking floods. They're like, oh, it's fucking game time! Everybody run! And like midway through, you're like, I don't know what we're gonna do. What we're gonna do, Tommy? Now just keep running. We'll make it. Yeah. And then by the end, recess is over. But like as you slowly go, like get older and older, you start to like lose enthusiasm for things and start to be like less expressive about that kind of stuff. Like, oh fuck, it's recess! Like, you know,
that's so
we're
true.
in college now.
Yeah, it's like, there's no recess.
No, it's just like either you're at school or you're fucking somewhere else.
Yeah, and then we were just talking with this strike too. Like this deep into it, it's like not motivating
Yeah,
at all.
man. It completely saps everything
Yeah.
out of you because you're like used to being around everybody every day.
Yeah.
And like especially like if you have like some kind of anxiety
Yeah.
or like any kind of like social kind of anxiousness at all, like it makes it even more tough to leave your house because you have school pushing you to go.
Yeah.
So you have to go because you're paying money.
Yeah.
And you want to be there. There's great people around. You're not worried about anything.
Absolutely.
You can dress the way you want.
Yeah.
Eat whoever you want.
Yeah.
But then when you get that outlet taken away because of something as stupid as a bunch of fucking adults disagreeing with each other and acting like children, frankly. And like the fact that I don't know, I was saying to the teacher the other day when I would cross the picket line, I was like, I'm 22 years old, but like this is fucking childish.
Yeah.
Like, and she even told me that it's an outside company
Yeah.
that's hired on to do this shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
something's wrong here.
Yeah.
Like, there's got to be something going wrong here where this shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
Like, and the fact that, I don't know, everyone just cares way too much.
Yeah.
Like, especially at a place like Fanshawe.
And it's like all the people that it doesn't really affect get to make the decisions for everybody else that it affects. Like I was talking to my mom the other day after Dan made that post on like our groups and stuff. Or actually no, he just made that one post on his own
That
wall.
was such a
and
good
it was a really
post,
good
man.
post. And I was like, I told her I should send it to her, but I was like, I just don't, because sometimes people can get caught up in like blaming the teachers sometimes too, because they take that like union thing and blame the teachers. And I was like, I
Because they
can't
think that
speak
the
for
teachers
all
are
of them.
doing it,
Yeah, but I was like, this sucks just as much for them as it does for us, like as students too.
Oh,
Like,
yeah. And even like we have the least amount of power. The
Yeah.
teachers and the students.
Yeah.
Like, both of us. We don't
Yeah.
even have any deal in the pie at all. Any
Yeah.
cut in the pie, I guess.
yeah.
And did you see that list of all the like kind of like salary report
Oh no.
of all the professors or all the like presidents and like CEOs
Yeah.
of all the colleges in Ontario, man?
Yeah.
The dude from Humber's making like $500,000. And I'm like,
That's
are you
crazy.
fucking kidding me, dude? Like that's what I don't understand. It's
Yeah.
just like, how can you have such a huge excess amount of money and not understand where you need to allocate it to?
Yeah.
Because there are people like the quality of the classroom is just going to drop.
Yeah.
And you can even see like America's education system is absolute shite.
Yeah. Horrible.
Like, I feel so bad for people over there because it's like you're not even getting a third grade education by the time you graduated high school.
Yeah.
That's kind of rude.
Yeah.
Obviously, they know. I don't know. Like I have a lot of friends in America. I'm not saying anything, but
yeah.
you know, it sucks. This is just such a shitty situation.
Yeah. That's like, and that's all you can like say too is like, this just sucks. Like,
Yeah. Well, even Cam made a really good post.
Cam
the
did
other
a
day,
great
too.
post.
I commented on it. I was like, this needs to be shared.
Yeah.
Stat,
yeah.
man.
That's what
Like-
I was talking to him about it at Rum Runners too. Cause we were like, he was like, I'm just so bummed out. And I was like, man, when I read your post, it was everything I wanted to say.
Literally, I
Like,
think that's what everybody's
it
thinking.
was the most like eloquent way like that it could have been put.
And it still had a few little stings in there.
Yeah.
Because like you can only like lay by for so long
Yeah.
and just kind of sit there and take things
Yeah.
until you're like, fuck this.
Yeah.
Like, come on. You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, especially like
worst.
I think with I'm think that we're fortunate with our program because I think that our teachers are gonna figure it out and our teachers care less about what we get on the exam versus what we're actually learning, which is good. They're not gonna be like, here's the answers to the exam so you guys pass. They're gonna make sure we get the education, but I think we're a program of like really creative people, and with pretty much everybody you talk to, that's just like, I don't even want to even like write anything right now. It's like just a really good way to kind of express that with like some of the most creative people in your school right now just feel like totally uninspired.
Dude,
and
I've been playing Minecraft for the past 2 weeks, dude. Like, that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. I don't want to do that. Like, fuck, shit, dude. Come on. That's like, it's really sad.
Yeah.
It just
It's really
sucks
sad.
because, and even like the teachers are missing out on seeing like
Yeah.
the growth of their students and
Yeah.
seeing like and helping them progress along, because honestly I think that we really have something in our year. I think that we have an insane amount of talent and people that are going to kill it in the industry. Like people that are really going to take themselves and everybody in our program very far. And just like being able to see that. I was saying that last year too. I was like, oh fuck, there's gonna be some really righteous people in there that are gonna tear the shit out of the airwaves in the next little while. And I know that our teachers think that too, and they want to help us every single step of the way. Right? but not much you can do if they're not even fucking allowed to walk into the school property.
Yeah, they can't even. Yeah, I don't even know. It's a bummer with like Share the Land too, because we're trying to like get stuff going, but like it's also there's so many things where like we've done our part and we just need Mike to like sign off on it, but he can't.
That's been like that's been like the main thing that we've talked about at the meetings.
Yeah,
because I'm on the A&R team. So we literally sit there and we're like, okay, so.
Yeah.
What would Mike think of this?
Yeah.
Like, what do you guys think that Mike would think about giving this band this song?
Yeah.
Or that artist this?
Yeah.
And we're just like, okay, well, we gotta wait till everyone's here. It's just like the production assignments too.
Yeah.
Right? Like, Dave's not in. So,
Yeah.
like, how are we supposed to get his advice?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to record vocals on our song until he's there because I want him to hear me.
Yeah.
I want him
That's
to
the
fucking
other
hear my
thing
voice,
too. Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Like you want them to see like what we're doing also too. Like
and see kind of like what people are doing what.
Yeah.
And, like, how people are taking the lead.
Yeah.
And it's insanely handicapped too because so many people are gone home.
Yeah.
So we showed up for our studio time. It wasn't this week, but the week before, and there was probably like 3 of us there.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this sucks.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be a class project.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be doing this in our time.
Yeah. Or like people have like full-time jobs too, so it's not even like it's not that we don't want to be at the studio for that, but it's like we also had taken the opportunity to make money. It's like such like a catch-22 because it's like I need the money, but I also really want to be there. But like
that's the big thing.
It's such
too,
a bummer situation.
I remember my buddy telling me this like a while back. Like if you don't really care about something by the end of a workday, you're not gonna like go and do it if you don't really care about it. So like if you're done, like let's say you go finish your shift at work, it was a full like 9 hours, 8 hours, whatever, and you get home and you don't want to play music right away. And clearly it's not something that like you care about in the fullest heart. Or maybe you just had a long day. Whatever, you know, different days, it happens. But that was one of the like biggest things that I realized was school for me at least. Like, unless I'm mandated to be there. Like I lose all emphasis. The teachers aren't there. Like what? Why am I gonna go there? I could work with people. I could like do a co-write or something. But like I don't want to. Like there's no drive anymore. It's like it got completely sucked dry. Ripping the soul out of Fanshawe. I'm sure most of the other colleges too. People are probably pulling their hair out just as much as we are.
I would think so. And I don't know, man.
It's between a rock and a hard place.
It really is.
Just rake your Zen garden, dude. You'll be okay.
Can't even be Zen. It's not raked properly. Okay, well, let's switch gears to try to be happier now. Let's take me back to like the beginning of like your musical, like where it all started. You said you're 22.
I am.
So you're like 95. Yeah, okay, cool.
How old are you?
96, so 21, yeah.
Nice, man, nice.
Yeah, so, like, when did it all start for you?
I don't really think I cared about music that much when I was younger. Like, I played cello and stuff when I was in elementary school because I went to Pearson, which is the art school in town.
Okay,
so
cool.
I learned how to, like, sing and, like, do all that, like, choir and drama. I was really big into acting.
Okay.
So that's where like the whole left field things comes into tie because I don't know, if you're not telling something that's interesting and you're not like showing it to people in the right way, then people are just gonna be like, I'm not really interested in like what you have to say. So I did like musical theater all throughout high school, and then I started taking vocal lessons because I was like, oh shit, I can sing. I want to get really good at singing. So I got this amazing vocal teacher. Her name's Julia Haggerty. She's now like a country artist in like London. I think she's in Nashville right now. And stuff,
I feel like I know that name.
You might. She was at like the country festival that they have at the Western Fair. She
I've probably seen it or something.
Yeah. She was also in this vocal group called Six back in the day, but that was like a long time ago. So yeah, just like her training really opened up my mind to how to use the voice a little bit better. And then started to get into kind of the drug scene, I suppose. Once high school developed a little bit further, got my first ukulele, and then I started listening to Tiny Tim again. And that was probably in like the summer going into the summer of grade 10 going into grade 11. I wrote like my first song ever, and then that's when like it kind of all started. I wrote Dan the Bunny, which is a story about my friend Dan, just him as a bunny. And that was just like, I don't know, to realize that you have something
Yeah.
like more to say,
Right.
instead of just like being given lines from like a musical or a song or
Yeah.
a script and being said to do it this way.
Right.
You have complete control. And then when it comes into like a live performance, when you're performing it, it doesn't like nothing I do is the same twice.
Right.
I can't.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened when I felt this certain way when I was
Yeah.
singing that song. Like
Yeah.
it was that day, so I did that thing.
Right.
And I think that that's a big thing too, is like, let's say you were to go on tour for 6 or 7 months and you do the exact same
Yeah.
thing over and over again, you're gonna go batshit crazy.
Yeah.
You're gonna be bored of it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what ended up happening after I finished high school. I got in this group called the Young Americans.
Okay.
And so went down to California, did their like training program, and kind of got trained in how to teach kids how to sing, dance, act, and more. I think it's like really about like being yourself and being like really comfortable and grounded in who you are.
Right.
So I learned a lot about that through kids because they're really fucking insane.
Right.
They say really crazy shit. They're wild, but they're so free and understanding that you can be in the worst mood, but they're always going to be okay.
Right.
Like you can always be okay. You have to be okay, especially too when you're working with kids.
Right.
You can't show up and be sad one
day.
There was one day, man, I was having a real rough time, and I sat in like the bleachers of this gym in Hamburg. I was just like, sitting there. This girl came up to me. She was probably like, I don't know, 10 or 11.
Yeah.
And, like this cute little German accent, like, what's wrong with you? And I was like, oh, okay, I need to go to the back room. I can't be here right now, man. And that was like relentless. It was 4.5 month tour that I did with them. So it was like all throughout Europe, and then a month in Japan, doing the exact same show, the exact same teaching routine, the exact same thing over and over and over again.
Okay.
And as great as it is, and like it's an amazing program. I have some of my best friends that I met through there. Like I love them to fucking bits, like hands down. But for me personally, being told to do the exact same thing over and over and over again, and being able to say that I can't add me into it and I can't actually show myself.
Right.
Like there was one time where we were like super low energy, and we were rehearsing this one number for like we would go in and do these like assembly shows. Okay. So you'd go in and do a couple dances and a couple songs, and like that would get kids signing up, and they'd be like, oh cool, like what's this? We're gonna go to the workshop and stuff like that. And it just got to a point where I couldn't fucking take it anymore, man. And I felt so bad because it's such an amazing gift to be a part of that group and to be able to go into people's homes and have them open their arms to you and just be like, come on in. Like, please, we love you. I know you love us. Like, be a part of our family. That's all we want. Yeah. And then to feel like I was kind of like hating it at the same time that I was loving it. Right. Like if I could have just stayed and hung out with families the whole time. Yeah. Oh my God, dude. Would have done it, man. Would have done it in a heartbeat. But, so that was like a really weird breaking point where I realized that like my individuality is something that I can't sacrifice anymore. Right. To give to another, to fit into a box. Right. Or to be put into something. Right. Or to have somebody fabricate. Right. I don't know, an image.
Yeah. You can't like properly like give what you're trying to give if somebody's telling you how to do it.
No, man. Yeah. That's how I look at kind of like a lot of pop music too.
Right.
If you call yourself an artist, what do you mean by that?
Yeah.
Like, are you just somebody that other people are going to write shit for and create? Are they going to make you the artist? Yeah. And have to switch things that you do? Yeah. Like, I remember, like, hearing somebody say, oh, yeah, I'm going from this genre to that genre last year. And I was like, no, you're being told to do that. You're not making a conscious choice. Yeah. Like, you're slapping yourself in the face at that point if you're not making a decision for yourself. Yeah. And that's like such an important thing, especially with music, because people look up to musicians.
Absolutely.
And look up to these artists. Yeah. I mean, even, do you know the band Power Bottom?
I don't know the band Power
Bottom. Oh, man.
I'm interested, though.
Fucking insane. Check them out. They're absolutely crazy. They have the nastiest makeup I have ever seen. It's just these two dudes, and they dress like ladies, and they play some fucking awesome, like, kind of punky rock music, man. Okay. But those guys are absolutely amazing. That sounds because they're doing what they want to do. Right. And they're getting attention for it too. Yeah, which is great.
I think like it's important to be honest with yourself too when you're being, you have to surround yourself with people that are going to be honest with you, but you have to like also be able to sit in the mirror and be like, if you're like, I want to do this, but also, be like, is
understand
that
what your boundaries are.
Yeah.
Like what you really can do.
yeah,
you know?
yeah, because you can't just be like, okay, I'm gonna start a power metal group, but like if you don't know how to like do that,
And you can't.
yeah, like,
And if you want to, then go ahead and work at that.
yeah, figure it out for a little bit.
You can do anything you want, man.
Yeah.
Like, that was one of the biggest complaints that I had when I would work with like those kids is they say I can't.
Right.
So much. Even like older people say that
Right.
too. Like adults saying, "Oh, I can't sing."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "No, you're talking.
Yeah.
You can fucking sing. Shut up, man." Like, dude, you don't understand. Like you can achieve anything if you work at it hard
Yeah.
enough. And especially, I mean, even with like that power metal example, if
Yeah.
you wanted to,
Yeah.
you could.
Yeah.
But you know,
Yeah.
that's up to you.
Yeah. You gotta sit in your room for a little bit and do that. You
Get
can't
them
just like
fingers going.
yeah.
Get practicing,
You can't decide on like Tuesday and then book a show for Saturday
and expect yourself to be up to par.
Yeah, like
That's-
you gotta spend the time.
And it takes so much time too.
Yeah.
Like I don't think I realized how much time and dedication, like art, took
Yeah.
in itself until I came to this program.
Yeah.
Because when it comes to sound, it's insanely finicky.
Yeah.
Like there's so many buttons and knobs, and everything's
Yeah.
way more detailed than other art forms. I feel more
Yeah.
in, like the engineering aspect
Right.
of things. Everything is really, really like,
Yeah.
tight on the spot. You can have
Yeah.
really chill people.
Yeah.
Which is great. That's what
Yeah.
you want, right?
Yeah.
That's what we've been talking about for
Yeah.
the past
Yeah.
year and a half now. But yeah, the knowledge that it takes, and
Right.
like, the brain power, it
Yeah.
blows my mind. Man.
Yeah.
So cool.
I find like it's also I've been trying to consciously like share less. Like so sometimes people like for example like will be like, oh, I'm gonna start doing power metal if we just stay on that example. But then they
Yeah.
like try to like share every like aspect of that when they're not
Dude.
necessarily ready because it's so
Yes.
easy to do that.
Yeah.
And it kind of like it ruins the mystique of what you're doing.
Especially if you like warn people that you're doing something.
Yeah.
It's like going and telling people that you're quitting smoking.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing you can do.
Yeah.
Like you're shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah.
And that's really interesting that you bring that up. I think
Yeah.
it's an important thing to keep some things to yourself
Yeah.
too, right?
Yeah.
Like even like I have a couple of side projects that like I keep talking about.
Yeah.
And I keep having conversations with myself in my head, and I'm
Yeah.
like, okay,
Yeah.
this needs to get done.
Yeah.
So, like I need to do like 30 more things on this one song
Yeah.
before I can even think about giving it to anybody
Yeah.
or like putting it out anywhere.
Right.
But even then, just like the thought process of the amount of work that it needs
Yeah.
to take, it's just like, oh, fuck, I don't even want to talk to anybody
Yeah.
about it. Like I've shown a couple people it and they're like, yeah, man, you're on your way. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, fuck, I'm on my way. Oh, which direction to go now? Like, shit, man.
It's always like because you can get excited like by yourself, right? When you're like, oh, cool, I'm doing this, and then you want to
it's
tell
gonna be
people,
awesome.
and then you're like, and then that can suck too. Because if you start telling people,
And you build
then
it up. And
yeah,
especially if you build it up in your head.
yeah,
And you like, let's say you were to say today, oh, I'm starting a new project.
yeah,
And you go and you tell everybody.
Yeah.
And you make a post on Facebook.
yeah,
And you post on Instagram. You
Yeah.
make a new Instagram account.
Yeah.
You make a new Facebook account. You
Yeah.
do like the full nines
yeah,
for it. And then you end up not doing anything with it.
Yeah.
That first week is going to pass by and you'll be like, okay, I'll get to it.
yeah,
And then it's going to be a month later. And
Yeah.
you'll be like, why did I even start that?
Yeah.
Like, why didn't I think this through?
Yeah.
Where was that decision coming from?
yeah.
Like, why?
Yeah,
Why?
yeah.
Why?
You have to be really careful with that stuff.
Mhm.
I've always been, again, like this is something I've brought up a few times on here, but like even with just like our Instagram page, like I waited for a
Yeah.
while on purpose because I didn't
Dude.
want to, till it was like, okay, we're doing stuff now. Like we showed the class,
Yeah.
like people got it.
Well, you
And
guys just
then I,
played
like,
that show at
did that
Fitzray's
stuff.
recently,
Yeah.
right? And you have another
Yeah.
one coming
Got
up
another
too.
one coming up.
So,
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
that's awesome,
They liked
dude.
us, so
Oh,
we're
hell
going
yeah.
again. Yeah.
I can see
so.
why, man. You guys have a really great sound.
Hey, thanks, man.
I'm so
oh,
super
thanks, Josh. Okay, cool. That's the podcast. I made him say it.
Okay, thanks, guys. See you now. Bye.
But yeah, so I think just like you gotta wait and like it's cool to be excited, but and it's just like that's just the
Exactly.
nature of like society right now. Is it's super easy to just like not wait and just do it really quick.
Just put something out there and have
Yeah.
it just be kind of like polished shit.
Yeah,
Which
yeah,
isn't what you want.
No.
You want people to listen to things and be like, oh my god.
Yeah.
What? Like,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Even like I used to always just like whatever I would record in my room, I'd like throw up on SoundCloud. And then when I got here and started like hanging out with like Carl and like Cam and those guys and like Drake, and he was like, yeah, like don't put like just demos online or whatever, like you know, put your finished product out. And that was kind of like a moment where I was like, oh yeah, obviously that's like a better way to do that. Like I just never thought of it before.
I ripped all my shit off SoundCloud a couple months ago, man. I was like, these sound like shit. Like it didn't turn out like a lot of them didn't turn out the way that I wanted to.
Right.
Vision didn't like fulfill itself, which is fine. It's okay, but just to have it out there is good, you know. Like, if it doesn't sound good, and if you don't think it sounds good, it don't sound good.
I was telling I have a guy that I knew from like high school who is in Vancouver right now. He's got a band, and they're like starting out. It's kind of like a Doors kind of like influence thing. It's pretty cool.
Dude,
but he's been asking me like questions and stuff about it. And he was like, yeah, he's like, you guys got stuff online? And I was like, no, like not yet. We're just been recording. And he's like, oh yeah, we've been thinking about putting our demos up. And I was like, you can. I was like, but I would wait. And I told him why and stuff. I was like, it's your band. You can do whatever you want. But like, I was like, this is like my thought process, and like people that like I know is kind of the way. Cause
definitely.
You know,
and if that's kind of what everybody's saying too. Plus, if you were to think about it, like get those demos to practice with. Yeah. That's what you should use
exactly.
Those for.
See what's working and not and stuff.
And to bring to a producer or a studio and be like, this is our product so far. What can you do for us?
Exactly.
How can we make this easier and stuff like that? And if you're well practiced, then you can just go.
And there's like nuances that not like your everyday listener understands. So like the general like listener doesn't really care between like your demo and like your final product, because they don't necessarily like get it, right?
They don't attentively listen as close as we do. Have you noticed your ears changed?
Yeah, there's been lots of stuff that I've noticed.
It's crazy. It's so nice though, because like
cool.
Music has definitely changed for me in the past year. Because I mean, like I said earlier about like my whole history, I don't have a very big care for music. For me, it's like really heavily based on the storytelling, and the acting, and the playing.
Like the whole like show.
Yeah, man. Because honestly, like that's the one thing where like I don't have a lot of songs finished. Maybe like 5 to 10 ish somewhere in there. But I know that if I were to do any of them, I could get that story right off. Fuck the music, man. Like, if you're telling the story well enough, people don't give a shit about the music. If you can play the song, play the song. Like, at least know how to play the song. But man, it has to be like theatrical or something. Like I did a bunch of shows over the summertime at Chill, and there was one of them I was singing. I think it was like Tiptoe Through the Tulips or Sitting on the Dock of the Bay. Like a really nice light old song. And like this one guy, like one of the workers, he was like walking into like the little open desk thing, and he like opened up the desk, and I looked at him when I was singing the song, and I just held contact with his eyes. I just like stared him down, and I was like, this is a moment. This is me and you, but everybody else is watching me do this. Like, I'm staring you down, buddy. And he got a kick out of that afterwards. And that makes people like, I don't know, more comfortable around you too, right? If you break down your walls, which is the hardest fucking thing to do, is just to like let go. You know?
I find it like a little bit easier on stage now than like just a normal conversation with somebody to be like, I find it much easier to like play, and then people are like, what the fuck? Than like just in like my normal, and then I'll be like super awkward afterwards because I don't know what to say.
Man, do you feel weird after performances? Like after you've gone, dude, every single time, like since I started doing music and stuff, like actually going for it, I feel so weird after. Because I'm just like, I'm in a different headspace. I feel like I'm like 7 miles high in the sky right now. Like I'm on top of the world. I feel great about that. But then, like, when it comes to, like, a conversation, if I'm not drunk, then I just get into this weird, like, it's a weird, like, paranoid, anxious, like, state where you're like, oh, I'm really excited and happy, but, like, I can't talk to anybody. I can't talk to anybody, man. Fuck.
I just remember in high school, I had a band, and my guitar player, we'd do, like, competitions and stuff, and he was, like, a really good singer. So he started doing, like, solo stuff. And people would be like, oh, Sean, like, man, really good job. You did really good. And he'd be like, no, like, I kind of, like, screwed up. And you'd be like that guy. And I'd be like, Sean, just say thanks. And then, like, move on.
Exactly. Like, that's all you have to say is, like, thanks.
Like, people are going to stop complimenting you if they're just going to think that you're like, no, I actually suck, though. But
taking a compliment is just as much of a skill as giving one is. I know, way more of a skill than giving one. Like,
you just have to say thanks. And,
Exactly.
You know, whatever.
I always get like really excited anytime anybody gives me a compliment, just because I don't know, it means that I did the job.
Yeah.
Right. Like
Yeah.
if someo's like, "Fuck, man, that was crazy," and I'm
Yeah.
like, "Thank you so much,
Yeah.
man." But then after that, I'm like, I'm gonna go have a cigarette. See, man. I know it's even weirder too, because like, especially if you play a show like at the Targe or something.
Yeah.
Like, those are all your homies. You should
Yeah.
be able to talk to them right
Yeah.
after. But you know,
Yeah.
I think sometimes you get in a little bit in your head, and I go into like character mode. Where
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, it's time to like
Yeah.
make people think differently.
Yeah.
Or change the thought, change the mood.
Yeah.
I don't know, do something different.
Yeah. Because it is different. Like if you're being like, you know, I always like kind of think that I'm just like super crazy when I'm on stage, and I'm not like necessarily that guy in like a regular conversation. So like when you go
Yeah.
from like me just kind of like feeling insane on stage, and then like be like, cool, man, like, hey boys, that was a good set, and then you like walk down and someone's like, I love that, and then I'm just kind of like, oh yeah, like thanks,
Yeah,
like
thanks, man. It's like shell shock. or
Yeah.
something. You're like,
It's
okay,
like-
hey, what just went
yeah,
on?
you're
trying to
still like coming
reevaluate the
down.
past, like, 20
Yeah,
minutes.
you're thinking about like the whole like set that you just played, like,
Oh,
or like
yeah.
if something like you screwed up in one section, but like nobody noticed. You know, you can be like hard on yourself for
Just
that.
like,
or
oh,
whatever.
fuck,
Yeah.
fuck. But it is one of like the most like giving art forms.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
if you're not giving your fullest, like it's gonna show.
Yeah.
You know? Like when you guys played, when Personal Space played, those are just two of the bands that I think really like just give that 3-Step Snake too, and
Yeah.
even freaking Joseph Flynn with his band, man. That dude has so much energy, and that's
He
the
has a lot
thing
of
is if you
energy.
can like
Yeah.
bump it up and pick it up,
Yeah.
it makes people just like, oh shit, okay, like I'll bop along with you.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
this is fun.
Absolutely.
And bringing those people with you to those dark places,
Yeah.
is also like
Yeah.
you can really fuck with people.
It's
fun,
tough
man.
too, because you gotta like you gotta bring people on your journey. You're good at that with just like taking people. With
That's-
a few times I've seen you perform, even like the co-writes and stuff you do, like
Yeah,
it's always like
thanks,
an
man.
experience, which is cool.
Mm.
Which is
That's
tough. Like that's
why-
something you gotta work on. Like
That's why I even I remember saying this to Grady last year. I was like, man, the only thing that I care about is performing.
right.
Like, it's being on a stage.
Right.
Like I know that for me, that's my goal. Is
Right.
to end up on a stage
Right.
doing that professionally for the rest of my life.
Right.
I know it's gonna happen at some point
Yeah.
in some facet, but I also know that I want to do about 30 other things
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have that.
Yeah.
But if you can tell a story while also just being able to ignore your instrument
Yeah.
and just be able to play whatever is like what you wrote,
Yeah.
then it just makes it so smooth.
Yeah.
Like, and practicing it over and over and over again, like feeling unprepared and having to do a performance
Yeah.
is frightening. You're already nervous already
Yeah.
because your kind of brain's going a mile a minute.
Yeah.
And then if you're shady on the chords, it's like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
you're slipping on the banana peel, man.
Yeah.
You're slipping hard and fast.
It's like running downhill, and then you
Oh,
like,
God.
no idea.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I can only picture it.
That's intense. You went to like Japan and stuff too, right?
Mhm.
You do those travels?
Yeah, I
What'd you
spent,
do over there? Kind of the
a month
similar
there.
like teaching
Yeah,
thing?
It was just the continuation of the tour, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we started in LA, flew to New York to Germany, then Germany to Singapore, Singapore to
Oh, wow.
Japan. And Japan was insane.
Yeah, you saw.
man.
That was your favorite spot?
Yeah, I loved
Yeah.
it there. I really love Germany.
Okay.
Germany's like, I feel like my second home. I'm
Okay.
a very German person, I
Right.
feel. Like, just with, I don't know what it is about like the culture and the like how open and welcoming everybody
Right.
is. And just like, I don't know, you can feel history when you go to
Yeah.
Europe. And Germany is just so many beautiful buildings
Yeah.
and castles everywhere. And cool
Right.
shit. But then when you go to Japan, it's like the amount of respect that program gets there.
Right.
Like, there's one dude that pays for the Young Americans.
Oh,
all their
really?
tickets to fly over there.
Oh, wow.
So this dude just loves us so much that he's like, yeah, we want you guys all the time, always. Just come on over. And they also have this other tour. It's called the Tohoku tour, where it goes up by like the Fukushima
Oh, okay.
nuclear
Cool.
disaster and all that.
Yeah.
And they help out with the communities and all
Oh,
that kind
wow.
of stuff. But yeah, that's definitely some place that I think everybody needs to go.
Yeah.
Everybody should
That
go
sounds awesome.
spend some time in Japan.
How long were you there for?
I was there for a month.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So was it like a month in each place, or like how did that tour work?
It was like 2.5 months in Germany with like dots in like Lithuania, Poland.
Okay.
No, we did not go to Ukraine. Sorry, for a second there, I was like, wait, the Netherlands, and then a couple other places.
Okay.
That I can't quite think of. And then we spent the last month in Japan.
Cool. That's awesome. And then here, like MIA.
Then
What brought you to
here,
MIA?
What brought me to MIA?
Yeah.
I knew that I'd be able to do what I wanted to do.
Right.
And I wouldn't get hassled about it, while also learning about something that I have no clue about.
Right.
I came into this program with, like, I took a recording class that we had back in high school, so I understood, like, what an interface was.
Right.
And, like, I understood what Cubase was.
Right.
But I didn't know how to use it.
Right.
Shit confused me. Like, I still am really fidgety on it because
Yeah.
it's not part of my, like, everyday thought process.
Right. Yeah.
But I wanted to learn something new that would push me. And now I don't, like, consider myself to be an engineer,
Right.
but I know I have the tools
Yeah.
to become a good engineer,
Yeah.
and to be able to help people get their sound and help my sound,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
But yeah, just like the freedom of it, and I don't know, I realize that there's just so much goodness that can come
Right.
from a program like this.
Yeah.
And it is the best audio recording program in North America.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Like, it got voted out for like the past 7 years.
Yeah.
There's a good reason.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to, MIA the fuck up over here at Fanshawe.
That's
Yeah,
great.
man.
People are great.
Mhm.
And like everybody's just like nobody's the same, which kind of sounds like a stupid thing to say, but like everybody's
different or something, man.
But like everybody like has almost like a specialty like in something. Like if you have
can
a
just
if you have a
tell.
question, like somebody can tell you everything
Oh,
about
dude.
like everything you need to know more.
Or if you need like help with something, like if you wanted to, this is my big thing is like with Share the Land, like I really want to help people's performances.
Right.
That's something that I want to do. So if anybody wants help, like trying to tell stories better,
Yeah.
I'll try and like help out as much as we can. But we're also getting AFOS to come in too.
Yes, this is
Which
true.
would be
That'd be
really
cool. I'm excited about that.
Definitely pumped for that.
Yeah.
What brought you to MIA? Were you just kind of
I was in after high school. I was very like I'm just doing music, but like I didn't know anything about the program at all. So I was
Yeah.
just very like I'm playing music somehow. I'm not going to school.
It's gonna happen. I don't know how.
But so my brother was finishing pharmacy school at Waterloo, and he
Okay.
was in his last year, and he needed to find a house. So he's like, well, if you don't want to stay in Meaford, which I didn't,
Yeah,
'cause there's
no.
nothing there. So he's like,
No.
do you want to come down to Kitchener or whatever? So I was like,
Nice.
yeah. So I lived with my brother and two of his friends, who are like two good friends of mine.
Yeah.
And I was there, and I was just kind of like looking for work, and I didn't know what I was going to do. And then Drew, that I lived with, said, do you know anything about the program that Drew Merrifield's in? He's like the guitar player from Bodijar. And I was like,
Oh,
no.
okay. Yeah,
And he
yeah.
goes, it's some music program like in London. You should talk to him. So I like messaged him, and they were in second year at the time. And he's like, man, it's fucking
okay.
awesome. And he told me everything about it. And I was like, yeah, that sounds fucking awesome. So
Dude,
I like
yeah.
looked into it. So I did general arts at Conestoga just while I was there. And
Yeah,
then
why
I
not?
had to like, I did it from January to September. So those credits didn't count until like our year. So like I couldn't get, so I applied for last year, but didn't get in
Yeah.
because those general arts credits didn't count
that's
until like the
weird.
fall, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I had like another
Some
year off,
trivia.
and then I came in. So I just like, I've always wanted to do music like since I was young. Like I've just
Yeah.
never not wanted to do it. My uncle is he used to play in bands and stuff, and he's got like
Nice.
all this musical equipment and stuff, and just it's when I was like
so
3,
nice
I
to
just
have in the
looked up to
family,
him,
man.
and I
Oh,
just
okay.
always wanted to like be like him, and then that
Yeah.
just turned into like I
Just
want to be a musician. Yeah.
I think it's cool too because we can do this for the rest of our lives.
And there's so many different
Yeah.
like outputs, you know.
Yeah.
Like
You can do anything you
Yeah.
fucking want,
Yeah.
man. Like anything at all. I took some samples from Kenny versus Spenny not too long ago.
That's
and
awesome.
Did a trippy little song, man. It's fucking funny. You can literally go sample anything.
Yeah.
And you can make a beat out of that.
Yeah.
And make it super simple. But even just like doing that process and learning how to work at something is like how you begin like growing that seed in your brain.
Yeah.
Like if you don't work at it every single day,
Yeah.
then you're not gonna continuously progress.
Yeah.
Stagnancy will be the death of you.
Yeah.
You're gotta
Yeah.
be consistently a student in life.
Yeah.
Especially with music where you can always learn something
Yeah.
new. Fucking
There-
obviously.
There's always like better music out there. There's always even with like electronic music, which is I'm not a
Yeah.
huge fan, but like I had this conversation with my dad because when I was home a while ago. It was like something like some electronic festival was on the news.
Okay.
So he was like, what are you, being like around it? Like he just was like picking my brain or whatever. And because he's just like a dad and like, it's just noise to me as far as I'm concerned.
Beeps and bops and boops. Yeah. That's interesting.
I was like, yeah, I'm not really a fan, but I also kind of respect it. And there's still elements of that genre that are super cool, and even stuff that like I do, and I'm just in like a straight up rock band, but like there's still like really cool stuff you can do with like those elements.
Oh yeah, synths and stuff too.
Yeah,
now, right?
Even just like doing that Stingers assignment was interesting. Just like having to make noises, and it was hard. Like I did not go in there. It took me a while to do the assignment, but like
dude, I think that was with everybody, man.
It was funny. Like you go to like some of the best songwriters in our program. Like, hey man, like you doing the Stingers, and they're like, I'm struggling so hard. Like anybody that could just like write you a song tomorrow and it'd be great, but then you like throw them into Reason or something, and they're like it's a whole new world.
Deer in the goddamn headlights.
Yeah,
I think it also depends on how willing you are to bend and learn new things. Right?
Yeah.
Like when we were running through Reason, I got it. I understood it right away. Steve Mallison, amazing professor.
Great,
Everything is so plain and straightforward with the way he teaches.
Yeah.
I understood it really well.
Yeah. And he goes kind of fast, but like I'm always with him.
Yeah.
Like it's
not
really
like
weird.
Too fast. It's like at a good pace where it's like you can stop because there's enough time to ask questions and shit. And he's like so helpful with that kind of stuff. But I think that it's just how invested and how concentrated you are when you're doing your work.
Absolutely.
And like when you're learning about the thing that you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Because if you really like give 100% of your brain capacity when you're learning something, then when it comes to actually doing the assignment or something, you're already going to have like a solid backup, a solid kind of foundation to jump off of.
Absolutely.
And that's how I feel with, at least with the Stingers project. I was like, oh, okay, so just make a really cool thing at the beginning, and then just have it go beep, 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 beep.
Yeah.
Just like stretch it out for a minute.
Yeah.
Fucking easy, man.
Yeah.
Like if you just put the time and effort and use your brain.
Yeah. Yeah. And like if you're not willing to like expand your horizons, like that's cool, but you're also just kind of going to be left in the dust with everybody else that's keep up.
Especially with like the way that music is going nowadays too.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of like really weird collaborations. Like I think back to like the Run DMC and like Aerosmith.
Yeah.
Like that collab for what song was that? Walk This Way, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like there's really crazy things happening now. Like what was that song? Who did the Sounds of Silence a couple years, like 2 years ago?
Didn't like Disturbed do something?
Disturbed did it, yeah. There's cool things like that happening now where older songs are getting new flames.
Yeah.
Weird producers are working with artists, and I'm just like, whoa, okay. You didn't really realize. I didn't realize how everything was interconnected until I went to this school.
It's crazy.
It's like,
and even like,
fuck, everybody knows each other.
Yeah.
Shit.
It is, yeah. It was even like, for just like a personal change, because Mark Ronson did the new Queens of the Stone Age album, and like 2 years ago I probably would have just been like, oh, like what the hell, like this pop producer. And like this time I was like, that's interesting. I'm like interested to see what happens now, because it's just like that's unexpected, and I that's might be an interesting like sounding record now.
And that's the cool thing is like because of that reason and the choice that they make to go with him, it'll completely change. It'll still be Queens.
But, you know, there's like a different little twist on it.
Oh god, yeah. And that's why like I really want to work with like a lot more people.
Like,
that's not, I'm not saying that as one of those things where it's like, oh, like I want to be in a thrash metal thing. It's like, no, I just want to work with more people because you can really learn a lot about different things and like how to write different songs. Like when I worked with Tasman most recently, it was like such an easy process, like, super straightforward. And if you have an understanding, like her style isn't anything like mine, but I know how to work with her, and she knows how to work with me, and it just ended up working out really well. And that's the thing is like if you have the ability to bend a little bit, and like shift and like work with other people, it'll make the rest of your life so much easier, because people will want to keep working with you. So like, oh, you've worked with this country person, you've worked with this EDM producer, and then you've also worked with this R&B dude, this lady from here and that dude from there, you know. Definitely, like you said, broaden your horizons, like as far as your blinders will go, man. As far wide as the eyes can see.
Did you find like with Tasman, that song was really cool.
Thanks, man.
And she's a killer vocalist as well. Do you find like that easier with, because she can like, you two could probably just vocally do whatever you needed to do.
Yeah,
like,
well, it takes work, right?
Yeah.
Like we're still having a couple more rehearsals because Mike's doing that thing this
Right.
week where he's getting a bunch of bands coming in, so we're gonna try and jump in on that. But yeah, just because someone knows their voice, it makes it so much easier.
Yeah.
Like, and then when Imogen hopped in, it
Yeah.
was like that was the third piece of the puzzle that
Yeah.
was needed to kind of complete the picture.
Yeah.
And that's somebody that like just knows their voice so well.
Yeah.
Like the back of her hand.
Yeah.
And that's like one of my biggest inspirations since I was like back in high school, because I did the high school project with her all through.
Right.
And I went to elementary school with
Okay.
her and like her brothers and stuff.
Right.
And, yeah, she knows her voice.
Right.
And she has like her degree in singing, right?
Oh,
So
really?
she,
Okay.
Like would just be like, oh, here, you try this, I'll try this, and then Taz, you try that.
Okay.
And then we figured out a couple things the day before, and
Yeah.
it just ended up working.
It just
out.
worked.
Yeah, it'll be cool to see what the finished product sounds like.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome. That's so cool that Mike's doing that too. A little
Yeah.
compilation CD or whatever comes out of it.
Such a good idea, man.
Yeah.
I ran into him when I was up when I drove into the school on Friday it was, and I was like, "Hey, man, I'm super excited for that idea."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, man, it's gonna be great." And we just kind of chatted for a hot
Yeah.
minute, and he was just super stoked on it.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
It is so cool. It
Just
so
shows
cool.
it shows like the tight knit fabric of our program.
Yeah, just everybody's like, hey, I'm bored.
do something,
We have the
please.
studio. Do you want to like do something with it?
Yeah. Somebody please record some kind of sound.
Yeah.
You know?
Please make some sounds. Yeah. Even like we were recording like the first week and a half,
Yeah.
and then that's even kind of dropped off a bit because everybody's kind of just like
People get
either
lazy,
doing
man.
stuff or like, and we're at vocals too, so that's kind of like we can kind of do them whenever, but also
Should take your time with that.
yeah, it's like, but whatever.
Yeah.
It is what it is. We'll figure it out.
Oh, exactly. Time goes by. TikTok clocks and such. You know?
Other time-related devices.
Don't get me started on those things, man. Don't even get me started.
Are you planning like keeping it solo for a bit, or like what are your like, musical endeavors?
I got some peeps that I'm playing with. I've been playing with Gyro, Owen Viragos, and Jordan McQueen recently.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so trying to just kind of get a backup for my solo stuff.
Right.
I really don't know. I really want to get an album recorded this year, even like an EP. 'Cause
Right.
I didn't get any of it finished last year.
Right.
It was more about trying to learn as
Yeah.
much as possible because it's really overwhelming.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to try and do that for a little bit and try and get like some solid things going on with those dudes first. But then at the end of the year, I'm moving down to Montreal.
Oh, cool.
By the looks of it so far, got like my shit all figured out for that.
Oh,
So
sweet.
I think that'll be a really good shift for me to be in like a really big city.
Right.
I
Are
think
you
I-
moving down there for a reason, or like to like, just get away?
'cause, man.
Right.
I hate Toronto.
Yeah.
Oh man, Toronto pisses me off. I get so like I don't know what it is. It makes me feel really uncomfortable, and like I also had like a couple really bad acid trips there. So
Nice.
like
So that might do it.
I'm just like, oh shit. Anytime I go back, it's like fucking flashbacks, man. Oh yeah, it's just too cramped of a place. And
I
there's
understand
too
that.
many people. and
Yeah.
there's not like, I don't know. There's a lot more openness in Montreal. I feel.
Okay.
Like if you're having a picnic, you can drink beer in public.
Right.
Like people
Right.
really
Yeah.
don't
I
give
see.
a
What
shit.
yeah.
And I'm also French too, so I want to like get
Nonetheless.
my French back.
Right.
Because that's something that I think is really fucking important,
Awesome.
and it's just cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Do you
Fuck.
speak French? You speak-
I used to. I've lost like
Come
the
back in a year and I'll
majority
speak French.
yeah, that'll be a whole new world.
Yeah.
Man.
Do you speak any other languages?
I can say
Or,
like
kind of know.
a couple things in German, and I can say I'm the Prince of Canada, but it's a secret in Japanese. Honto wa Kanada no oji-sama demo himitsu. It's my only line, and that's all I got, man. Yeah,
That's hilarious.
it's definitely it's
The
funny.
Prince of Canada.
Duolingo, baby.
That's the name of this episode now. I just want you to know that.
Ah, shit. Oh, fuck, Sally Ann. Damn it.
It'd be like Cashway Pete, the Prince of Canada.
Oh, man. First album name right there.
That's classic. That's so funny.
Hey, man, you gotta have a fun time, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to get it tattooed on my knuckles.
Cashway Pete or the Prince of Canada?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe both.
Maybe both. Might need more knuckles.
I'll get an extra hand, man. That would be interesting.
Do like on your thighs too, so you can like.
I'll do it on my toes.
Oh, there you go.
Perfect. There's the other knuckles.
My toe knuckles.
Go from like really small letters to like all caps. It's like, whoa, at one point you're just screaming at you.
It's Cashway Pete.
I love tats. Oh God.
That's crazy. Do you have any tattoos?
I do not. I am. I'm holding off until I have a lot of money.
Fair enough.
I want to spend like a lot of money on tattoos. Yeah, I want my like sleeves and my maybe my whole body. I don't know.
Yeah, I want sleeves or like at least half. I think half sleeves look cool too.
You'd look pretty dope with either or, man.
Yeah. Well, thanks.
Yeah, it would look good. Yeah, no problem, man. I am always in favor of tats, piercings, hair color changes, anything, man. You know.
I'm too nervous about my hair. I shaved my face last week and I hated it for a while. So
felt like a baby
it was the first time I shaved it in like 3 years almost.
Damn.
So
Man.
I was really shocked, and
Dude,
it didn't grow back fast enough. So
it's weird too. Like you don't expect to see what's underneath, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, that's what my face looks like. Hair. Fuck. Like shit, man.
Like, oh, okay. Julie hadn't seen me at all like since we've known each other without a beard, so it was like a big shock for her.
What'd you think? Yay or nay?
Now that
she has a real big smile on her face. Just say.
She did not like it. She did not like it.
I get annoyed with like my mustache is starting to droop in the middle, so I have like little catfish tails.
Yeah.
So like when I kiss somebody, it's like it gets in my mouth. And I'm like, are you eating my mustache right now, or am I eating the mustache? Either way, it's not that nice.
I was saying this is also gross with hair in your mouth.
Where are you going, man?
When I perform, when I take my hair down, but also chew gum when I play. So like my hair will just go in my mouth, and then it's like the whole song. It's a constant battle, like keeping my gum away from like my hair, so I don't like chew it into my hair.
Oh man, it's gonna happen one of these days.
One day it'll happen. It hasn't happened yet, but
just wait. When it goes down, you'll know. Maybe
then I'll just have to somehow like subtly like
do a very rock and roll.
Yeah.
Smash your guitar into your face and pull your hair out at the same time. It'll be cool, man. Trust me, it'll be cool.
It'll be
Light
something.
some shit on fire too.
That's how I'll distract everybody.
Don't mind me, guys.
So I lit the stage on fire. I just had some gum in my hair. And I needed to
have a lawn chair on the side. Oh, that'd be funny, actually. I just thought of like a wrestling ring for a concert, and, like musicians going into the corner and getting like that spray bottle from like their boxing coach, getting all warmed up.
Wrestling ring concert.
That was what
tight.
Pucifer did.
Oh, really?
Pucifer or something?
Yeah.
They did that for their
Keenan band.
Yeah, they did that for their last concert, I think.
Really?
My buddy went to it, yeah.
Oh, that's so crazy.
So it was fucking dope. Luchador?
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah. He's like a jiu-jitsu master, I think.
Yes, he is.
He's crazy.
He opened up a gym. Like the only gym in his town, just so he could do jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, because I think he lives like so far away from like anything that he like
in, like
pretty
the
much
middle of Arizona,
he had to like build a gym so he could like not travel hours to go to the gym.
So funny, man. That's fucking dope, though. He's a really interesting guy.
He's super interesting, dude.
Joe Rogan did a podcast with him.
Yeah,
like maybe
a couple months ago.
Or something.
I think it was in it was like August or something. I remember working and listening to it. Oh, yeah. So
it was interesting.
Yeah, it was interesting. So he's like, he has a vineyard and stuff. He's an interesting guy. They his other band, A Perfect Circle, does a cover of Imagine by John Lennon.
Really?
It's like I think that's like. If that's like my number one pick for like a perfect song, I think. Nice. And then like A Perfect Circles version of it though is also like really good, man. Check it out. Is
the lady from Resident Evil in that band?
I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about him. I just know like a little bit about him.
Yeah, I just heard from one of my friends. I don't know if she's in Pucifer or if she's in Perfect Circle. She might be in Perfect Circle.
I feel like Pucifer. I don't know. Okay. I know that I think like him and his wife are abusive. If anybody's like a fan of Man and Jane Skating, they're probably pulling their hair out right now.
Oh, this guy's don't know jack shit. Don't talk shit on the main man.
Call bullshit right now.
These guys are fucking musicians. They're fucking idiots, man.
I don't know anything about Tool. They probably don't even like Tool.
You know, they're probably like fucking tools straight
Yeah, fucking Tools. Don't know anything about Tool.
What is music? Hey kids.
Damn, they caught us. We talked too long. We lied. The whole thing's a lie.
Don't believe it all. The sheep's in the wolf's clothes.
Something like that.
something along those lines.
However that saying goes.
Don't be Little Red Riding Hood.
Yeah, definitely. Or her grandma, because she gets eaten. And spoiler alert.
Realistically, you want to be the wolf.
Yeah.
Wait, he gets cut open by a lumberjack.
True. Yeah.
Okay, maybe not.
Okay.
You want to be Krampus, the weird version of Santa that eats children who are naughty.
Oh yeah. I was like, I know what that is. What is that?
They featured it on an episode of American Dad, and my buddy was talking about it the other day. I was like, fucking Krampus. Where did I know that from? Krampus, King of Canada.
Oh my god. What are you like really into? That's not like entertainment related.
Am I really into that's not entertainment
well, like, okay,
related?
I think like movies could also be in that. Like you're just like really obsessed about something that's like.
I really like the new season of American Horror Story.
Okay.
I just got caught up on that shit.
Okay.
I don't watch a lot of TV.
Me neither.
But this one's about cults.
Oh, that's interesting.
Super interesting. Yeah, they talk a lot about like Jim Jones and like, the whole Kool-Aid thing, and it has a lot of really interesting history behind it. But it's also like, I don't know, I've been kind of drunk when I've been watching it recently. Because it's usually at the later part of the night where I watch it. So I'll be sitting in bed like a few beers deep. And like, get really confused by it. But like amazing writing in that show.
Right.
That's what it's supposed to do. It like throws so many bends at you that you're like constantly on the hook.
Right.
Like that kind of thing. I think that cool. Like that show and like mindlessly scrolling through useless YouTube videos.
Yeah.
YouTube is such a dangerous hole.
I get trapped in YouTube a lot. Yeah.
Especially when you're like, oh, I could be doing other things.
Yeah.
That's why I started playing Minecraft, man. Because I was like, okay, as long as I like play a game or something, I won't feel as bad about it. But yeah, man, that's really it. I haven't really been doing anything too crazy as of late, and I've been actually painting a guitar right now.
Oh, cool.
That's kind of like the biggest kind of entertaining factor that's not related to like any kind of actual entertainment.
Right.
But yeah, I want to try and get it fixed up with like a synth module in it.
Oh, okay,
so
cool.
I can have like a weird filter that'll like kind of bit crush it in a way.
Yeah.
And just kind of like make it trippy.
Yeah.
Really try to have a unique instrument.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
just
cool.
Been working on that, just painting it right now.
Right.
That's the beginning steps.
Yeah, and then you like have a game plan for like modding it, or?
I think so. Yeah. I think I need to buy a couple new pickups, and then I just need to buy this switch and a like little chipboard to put into things, and then I'm not sure if I'm gonna do it myself or not yet. I've got like soldering gear at home. But I think it might be better to bring it into balloons or something. Yeah. Just like so I can
get a
see.
pro. Yeah.
Oh, exactly. Because I don't want to fuck that shit up. Because that would suck.
Yeah.
Especially if you're just trying to have it work.
Yeah.
All I want is if it can work and make sounds.
Yeah.
And there's a dry and wet signal too that you can put on there as well. So it doesn't always just have to be that. So I can still play.
Yeah, if you don't want it on. Yeah.
But I'm actually doing this really cool thing with the neck. I was like, like vape juice, how it has like the little drip tips.
Yeah.
I've been like dripping paint on the body, so like, the paint is all like melted, waxy type thing. Oh,
sweet.
And there's this thing called like electrified wood. So what you do is like take an electric circuit. There's like a little bit of like space in between. Yeah. Paint onto the wood and then shock the water, and then it'll run through the grains in the wood and create like I don't know, if you look up like electrified wood, it's really fucking cool. When people get shocked by lightning, that's what happens to their arms.
Okay.
They get like this really cool like roots kind of pattern that kind of looks like lightning itself.
Right.
But super like intricate and really like
really that's cool. So cool.
Well, like that's the other thing about like I wanted to talk to you about this is like artists. Sorry, I know it's like we're going on and on, man. I'm sorry. I just keep thinking about other things, but you can do so many things as an artist.
Yeah.
And you aren't in one box.
Right.
You know, if you put yourself into one box, and it'll be really hard for you to get out of there because you only be stuck in one way of thinking.
Right.
So you have to entertain your brain in other ways.
Yeah.
You have to go out, you have to dance, you have to sing, you have to play,
Yeah.
you have to paint.
Yeah.
You have to let yourself go and like try to be in flow as much as possible.
Right.
Because the more you're in flow, the faster time will fly, and the faster you can get to like a happy artistic state.
Right.
Right. And keeping a good balance of all those things.
Right.
Is
That's interesting.
healthy diet.
Yeah.
Healthy diet of brain
Healthy.
food.
The fruit and the vegetables for your brain.
And cigarettes and coffee. It's just those on the
And
side.
all the good caffeine that you
That's
need.
just breakfast. Though. That's just breakfast.
Cigarettes and coffee for breakfast.
Man. Oh, ain't nothing finer. Ain't nothing finer, man.
That's classic. All right, man. Cool.
Yeah.
You got anything else you want to talk about?
No,
Maybe
dude.
we could probably just go all day.
Yeah, realistically. Yeah, we very well could.
We were talking like so good before I hit record, and I was like, "Oh man, I need a break so we can
Should've
start
just-
this
should've
thing."
just started right away, man.
Should when I went up to get you, I should have been like, "Julie, just hit go," and we'll come down and sit
go,
down.
go.
Sometimes
Oh, no,
it's
man.
weird though. People will come in and just be like, "Hey, okay, what do you
Oh,
want to
yeah?
do?" Or like some people have a hard time like starting. There's a
Oh,
couple of times
okay.
I start listening back, and I'm like, "Oh, the first like 3 to 5 minutes are kind of rough," and then and then it's fine. It's
Then
totally
after
gold
that-
after that. It's perfect.
Yeah.
But
Like
you're
I don't know. I watch a lot of podcasts and stuff. Too,
Yeah.
And I've seen a couple of the ones that you've put out.
Right. I'm still
and,
learning
you know.
too. Like sometimes I listen back and I'm like, "Oh, Caleb."
Oh, dude. Well, everything's a learning process.
Stuff,
Right?
yeah.
I mean, it's an insanely comfortable environment.
Yeah.
Like you're a real cool dude.
Oh,
and,
thanks. We're
you
getting a lot of
know.
compliments on this
Yeah.
episode. I'm gonna make a
compliments, that's
compilation of
awesome.
like everything.
Every nice thing that's said.
Here's a compilation of everybody saying nice things about me.
You need to do it now, man.
Yeah.
You said it. It's set in stone. It's on film. It's on record. Like, what can you do? But yeah, man, this is super cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see just the other people that you get onto it, and
Yeah.
I'm excited
I
to.
did 3 this weekend, so
Dude,
I got
insane,
a bunch.
man.
I got 4 done now.
That's so
Bodie
nice,
Jars
man.
is coming out
You
next
just kinda,
week.
like backlogging it.
Yeah, I found because like I have to rent these, so it's easier just to be like,
Okay,
oh, I rented
yeah.
them for the weekend, so let's just like do some,
Yeah.
and then it kind of
true.
keeps me busy with like editing and stuff. So
Definitely.
like,
Especially if you want to like do something that's not music.
yeah,
Right.
I'm trying to keep all my.
That's really
I'm
nice.
not like really artistic in terms of like a drawing sense or
Yeah.
stuff. So like, just like what else am I good at?
Yeah.
kinda
And,
thing,
well, even
so.
the thing, like, if you wanted to get good at drawing,
Yeah,
you could, right?
just this is true.
You wanted
We
to.
did talk about that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say I can't draw.
Good, man. Let's all get fucking angry. Dude. You're like, no, you're wrong. You can draw. You just haven't tried for long enough.
Okay, man. Well, let's call it. Let's call
Beautiful.
it, man.
That's a
We'll
day.
do it again. This was really fun.
Yeah, man. Anytime.
All right.
Anytime you need an extra
Let's
spot
once
filled.
every 3 episodes. Let's do it.
Prince Canada's back,
Yeah,
baby.
Prince
Prince Canada's back.
All right, man.